Good morning and welcome to the Board of County Commissioners meeting. Today is Tuesday, March 25th. We do begin each of our meetings with an invocation, and I am going to ask, I don't see that we have anyone signed up from outside the building, so Commissioner Williams, would you be willing to give our invocation this morning? Yep.
Our Father in heaven, we're thankful for this day. We're thankful for the many blessings we have. We are thankful for thee. We're thankful for thy gospel. We're thankful for this beautiful country we live in and for our county government. We're thankful for the freedoms that we have. We ask thee to please bless us with wisdom and please bless our employees that they may be safe and that they may also have wisdom. And this we say in the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Commissioner Applegate, if you'll lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
Item 3.
Item number 3 is staff emergency items, and I'm unaware of any staff emergency items today.
Item 4.
Item number 4 is changes, postponements, and notice of the next meeting. I'm unaware of any changes or postponements to today's agenda, and the next meeting will be Thursday, March 27th at 9 o'clock for land use.
Okay, and before we move on to item 5, I'm just going to double check that Commissioner Brummer is not online. Okay, she is actually away for spring break with her family, and I did not believe she was going to be joining us today. So if I could get a motion to excuse Commissioner Brummer.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I'll call the roll. Commissioner Weissong,
Aye.
Commissioner Applegate,
aye.
Vice Chair Williams,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. That passes 4-0, and we are on item 5.
Item number 5 is the consent calendar, including items 5A through 5G1.
Okay, do I have anyone here who would like to speak on an item on the consent calendar? Okay, none in the room and none online. I'll bring it up here for comments or a motion.
I would move approval of the consent calendar.
I second.
Okay, that has been moved and seconded. I'll call the roll. Commissioner Weissong,
Aye.
Commissioner Applegate,
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. That passes 4-0. Item 6.
Item number 6 is comments by elected officials and commissioner liaison reports.
We'll begin with Commissioner Weissong.
I just wanted to talk a little bit about one of the boards that I'm on, which is the Fountain Creek Watershed Board. And very interesting, we had the author that wrote a book about Fountain Creek, and it was very enlightening about what the Fountain Creek, the history, and many of the issues that are confronting both the creek and its tributaries. More on that as we get a little further down. But I just wanted to kind of bring to light that there's many issues that we've got to address with that particular watershed. And as far as schedule going for the rest of this week, just have the typical boards and committees that we have assigned to us. That's all.
Commissioner Applegate.
So Thursday, I was able to attend the State of Downtown. I got to hear some couple of keynote speakers. They were talking about some of the buildings they had just gentrified and they had like fixed and were able to just make some improvements to the neighborhood and the community. They were talking about the events coming up this year. Definitely a lot going on. Visit COS was there and everything. But I did have to leave that event a little bit early because the awards banquet for the sheriff was there. So that was good that night. I actually sat at the same table as a constituent of mine, and she works at the jail, and she was receiving a 20-year badge. So we were super proud of her and super glad for her achievement. So.
Vice Chair Williams.
Yes, good morning. I have on my calendar, I do have the Regional 16 Opioid Council abatement meeting tomorrow afternoon. And then on Thursday, I have the Karen Chair Recipe for Hope Luncheon. And several other appointments with constituents this week. I also want to say, congratulations to all of those individuals at the Sheriff's Banquet who received awards on Thursday night. Most importantly, congratulations to our own finance officer, Nikki Simmons, who received an award. And she does a lot of work to keep our county finances straight, to keep us on track, and to keep us in and under budget, which is the most important thing. So I appreciate all that she does for both us and the sheriff's office. Thank you.
And as for me, I will be participating in the Board of Health meeting tomorrow, as well as the Opioid Council meeting. I continue to be very optimistic about the work that the Opioid Council is doing to combat the opioid epidemic in our community. Really excited to see some of the grants that are coming out of that council, those settlement dollars being used in our community to mitigate those impacts. I, too, want to congratulate Nikki Simmons for that award. It was a great opportunity to recognize the great work that is being done by law enforcement in our community. And it was also very sobering to remember the kind of danger that that all of our officers experience every time they get up and go to work. So we're incredibly grateful to our officers, and we are incredibly grateful to their families as well. With that, we are on item 7.
Item number 7 is community service organization reports, and there are none.
Item 8.
Item number 8 is public comment on items not scheduled on the agenda. And Madam Chair, I'm aware of several people signed in to speak and one person that would like to be called in today.
Okay, well, we will begin then with public comment. So just a couple of the rules of engagement, if you will, here. That reminder that you do need to sign in. You need to state your name clearly for the record. Please make sure to speak closely into the microphone so that we can capture all of your comments on the record. And you will have 3 minutes to speak, so we ask that you adhere to that time limit. Whoever'd like to go first, if you'd like to come on up.
Good morning. My name is Genevieve Richard, and I'm with the Colorado Springs People's Coalition. I'm here at the request of and to support the Padilla family and calling for justice for Anthony Padilla. So some of you have heard this story before, but for those of you who have not, on March 27th, 2023, Kevin McCarthy targeted Anthony Padilla at the laundromat of the apartment complex that they both lived. He filmed himself kidnapping Anthony, trapping him in a maintenance closet. And when Anthony broke out and ran away, Kevin McCarthy filmed himself chasing Anthony down outside of the laundromat, turning a corner and shooting at him 4 times, striking him in the lower buttocks. When sheriff's deputies arrived, they coddled the shooter, Kevin McCarthy. They gave him legal advice, told him not to speak to them, because knowing that anything he said could be used against him. They offered to loosen his cuffs to make him comfortable. They offered him water. They called him brother. In the meantime, Anthony was literally lying on the ground begging for his life, asking for medical aid, asking for help. And they left Anthony on the ground for 6 minutes without administering anything. When they finally did give him aid, it was after he passed out from blood loss, and they gave him chest compressions without tourniqueting the wound. They helped pump the blood out of him. Anthony Padilla died that night of his wounds in the hospital, and the sheriff's deputies helped kill him. DA Michael Allen, when he first met with the family, promised them justice. He initially claimed that he would charge McCarthy with second-degree murder. He then strung the family along for months without meeting with them, and when he finally did, he said that Kevin McCarthy had a claim to self-defense. He told the Padilla family that he tried to charge McCarthy in a grand jury which refused to indict him. There's a saying you've probably heard: a grand jury will indict a ham sandwich if the DA wants them to. When they refuse to charge, it's usually because the DA did not want that conviction, and that is exactly what happened here. Investigator Arndt later told the family that there was a great deal of evidence not shown to the grand jury. They did not see the video that Kevin made of himself targeting, kidnapping, and shooting Anthony Padilla. They did not see the body cam footage of deputies Day and Yelton ignoring Anthony's pleas for help. They did not hear from any neighbor witnesses, and they did not hear from the lead investigator. What the grand jury did here is unclear, but what is clear is that Michael Allen made the conscious decision to let Kevin McCarthy go and used a sham of a grand jury as an excuse. We in the Colorado Springs People's Coalition call on you to commission an independent investigation into the shooting, the sheriff's deputy's complicity, and DA Michael Allen's mishandling of this case. We demand Kevin McCarthy be arrested and charged with murder, which he is guilty of, and that you also charge the sheriff's deputies complicit in his death and anyone else complicit in his death. We call for justice for Anthony.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
I had a picture that was supposed to be.
Okay. I'll ask for Blake to bring up, there was a photo that was submitted.
Yeah. This photo displayed is
Before you begin, if you could please tell us your name.
I'm Sherry Padilla, Anthony Padilla's mom.
Thank you.
The photo displayed is a picture of Sergeant Jaworski and Deputy Yelton receiving an award for their life-saving actions, where they provided trauma care to a gunshot victim. These two deputies were called to the scene the night of my son's murder and left my son to suffer. Anthony was begging for their help, and these men watched him bleed out. After 6 minutes of Anthony begging for deputies' help, Anthony began to go into shock. Deputy Day finally decides to do chest compressions on Anthony with no tourniquet or pressure on the wound, essentially making him bleed out faster. Sergeant Jaworski took over compressions, still not applying a tourniquet, and only pumped Anthony's chest for 33 seconds before stopping compressions and complaining about getting blood on his uniform. I want to show that these deputies were more than capable of giving Anthony the care he needed, but chose not to because of his race. When deputies arrived on the scene, the only thing that they knew about my son was the color of his skin. These deputies contributed to the murder of my son and tried to hide it. Anthony was listed as a doe, so I couldn't find his body. When deputies are seen on the body cams running his name, they clearly knew who he was at that time. Thank you.
If we have anyone who wishes to speak, please do come forward.
I have a video clip that I had prepared and sent in. My name is Ian Padilla. I'm Anthony Padilla's younger brother.
Oh, it's one of ours?
Adam Ocean X-ray, Adam 42 on a gray Honda Accord.
Oh, there it is. I'm pretty sure that might be Darren's too, because it's Darren's kit. So I'll drop that off and try to get it worked on so he has shit in his car. You don't want this in evidence, do you? It's Day's flashlight, probably.
I was told to bring video of my claims about my brother's murder, and I'm here to clarify the clip shown to you guys. Kevin McCarthy, Anthony's shooter, had told sheriffs on body cam that Anthony had struck him across the face with a large metal pipe and that was the reasoning for him to shoot Anthony. The accused pipe was none other than a small ball pump no bigger than the size of my palm. Anthony had used that ball pump to break free from the room Kevin McCarthy had held him captive in. And when Anthony had used that ball pump to break free from the room, Kevin had become aggressive and made an attempt to grab Anthony from behind, causing Anthony to swing to get Kevin off of him. Anthony dropped the ball pump onto the ground right next to him after Kevin had shot him. But when deputies arrived on scene, the ball pump laying next to Anthony used to break free was only acknowledged as Deputy Day's flashlight and not the ball pump it was. You might ask, how do I know it's not Deputy Day's flashlight like presumed? My brother Anthony had stated, "It's a pump," on Kevin's video of the incident and after Kevin had shot him. Deputy Day was also seen with his flashlight after the incident where it did not come into contact with blood like stated into the clip. That same ball pump would later appear again on Deputy Hansich's body cam. The clip just shown, Hansich deliberately took the pump out of evidence and gave it back to Deputy Day to dispose of. The line, "You don't want this placed into evidence," to detective by Deputy Hansich is a clear effort to get rid of that ball pump where he would succeed because later that ball pump would go missing from report and evidence to never be seen again. That ball pump is key evidence to Anthony's case of being held against his will, and Colorado law states that a person who destroys, mutilates, conceals, removes, or alters physical evidence with the intent to impair its verity or prospective official proceeding is tampering with evidence. Colorado law also states that caught in the act of tampering with evidence, you're charged as an accessory to the crime committed. In the DA's words about the incident to us as a family were, it was second-degree murder.
Is there anyone else who'd like to speak today? Okay, do we have anyone online? Sir, are you coming forward to speak? Go ahead.
My name is Modesto Padilla. I'm Anthony's grandfather. Heard my story, said they were going to call me and talk to me. Well, I never got a call from the commissioner. And then when I went outside, the sheriff's department was waiting for me, 3 of the officers. And they went up to me and they told me that to keep fighting, that this man should have been charged and the DA don't want to charge him. The thing I want to say is the chief investigator for the sheriff's department kept telling us that there's enough evidence to charge him. When it went before the grand jury, she came before us and told us that they hadn't let her present any evidence to the grand jury. And I can't remember the date, but the Sheriff Roybal called us all in to apologize to us that his deputies, one of his deputies had called my grandson a piece of shit when he was lying there on the ground. And he said that he put him on desk duty or something for that. And he apologized, and all I want to say is my grandson's been gone for 2 years, and nothing's been done to bring his killer to justice. And I'm asking you to help us. Please help us in doing this. At least talk to the DA. See, the DA hasn't given us no answers other than it was self-defense. And as the videos show, it's not Anthony to do anything wrong. Anthony was minding his own business. Anthony wasn't a troublemaker. And I'm asking you to please help us. Thank you.
Is there anyone else? Are you going? Okay, go ahead.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jesse Prophet. I am also with the Colorado Springs People's Coalition and here to support the Padilla family in their call for justice. There is one detail that Ian, actually 2 details, wanted to share but did not have time to that I want to bring to light. The first one is that the head investigator, Arndt, told the family that the district attorney did not allow her to present any evidence or testimony to the grand jury. In the eyes of the law, a district attorney caught doing such an act is called spoliation, which is a chargeable offense and why we are here today. One other point is that we reached out to Mrs. Williams and we have not yet heard anything back after she told us that she would get in contact with the county attorney. Thank you.
Is there anyone else in the audience who would like to speak today? Okay, let's go to the booth and see if we have someone online. We have no one online to speak. Okay. I'm going to do one more call here. Is there anyone else who'd like to come forward and speak during public comment? Okay, before we move on, I just want to make a quick statement acknowledging that I understand that there's a lot of emotion involved in this case, but as has been stated here previously, we have no investigative authority whatsoever over this. And we have, when folks have reached out, encouraged them to contact the appropriate folks who would be in a position to do that. So I just want to make it clear that we do not have that ability. We cannot do anything in this space. We have no investigative authority over any of the items that were mentioned here today. With that, I will call item 9.
Item number 9 is the called up consent calendar, and there are no items called up today.
Item 10.
Item number 10 is department and committee reports, non-action items, and there are none.
Item 11.
Item 11 is the addendum, and there are no addendums today.
Item 12.
Item 12 is the executive session, and there is no requests for executive session.
Okay, with that, we've come to the end of our agenda, and this meeting is adjourned.